I'm Lee with Real Roofing here at 927 Quarter Street, beautiful Longmont. Doing an inspection on a rental property. Apparently they're dealing with some bubbling and some leaks inside the home here. First thing I always look for is granule loss in the gutters. These gutters are completely full. Apparently they have actually been cleaned out once this year, but you always want to make sure those are clear. If not, water can actually push back up and in there over the drip edge, get back into your decking. First thing I noticed getting up here, there's definitely some damage going on with some blistering and aging, wear and tear. But also, just very gently, you can tell these shingles have lost their seal. Just very gently lifting. You don't really have to test too much to see if they're loose. And they're kind of crispy, so you just want to be gentle, but kind of works its way all the way up here. Main issue with that being, obviously once those seals are broken, it's not preventing water from entering the decking or the ceiling itself. But there's definitely some extreme granule loss just coming all throughout here. You can see that these are actually going to be blisters, not hail damage, just from how hard they are and from the way the granules are actually in there. Some of them are on the side and the corner. After inspecting, do notice also some wear on the ridge vent, as well as all throughout here. But it does seem like this side of the roof does get a little bit worse when it comes to actual granule loss. You know, there are these shingles kind of just pop in. Just talk to the renters. They let me know the wall is coming in through here, or the leak is right around here. What I found is loose shingle, seal broke. You know, most of these are fine, but a few of these on the edge are actually broken. The seal is broken, which can allow water directly in there, and I'm assuming that's where that leak is coming from. You'll notice this gutter is full too. We have a torn shingle here at the bottom, and this is going to be similar on this edge, I believe, where you just give a little lift, and these are supposed to be attached. That one's good. So this side's actually a little bit better than the other side. The seal is still there, but then you have some of these lifting, just allowing water in. And the point of the valley is to allow water to get down, divert itself into the gutter rather than running into the ceiling. You know, we do have big impacts here, or blisters, sorry, that are definitely allowing water into the decking. In the attic or crawl space, when you look over the ventilation and collateral, no hail damage, you know, nothing on there. So it just shows that this roof is aging. Pipe jacks are in pretty decent shape. Could be a little tighter right here. Water could potentially be getting in there. And this is the real loose shingle by the satellite here. This full shingle, once again, very lightly, just pull up. The issue with this is water is rolling right back in there. As water rolls down around this pipe jack, it's shooting back up in there. So that could definitely be the cause of the other leak. You know, this is also loose, seal's broken. Getting caught up with the satellite here. You also notice kind of coming down the edges that it's very worn all throughout the edges here, just losing the granules, which is what protects the shingles, keeps it waterproof, and, you know, will disperse that water correctly. Definitely finding a lot of blisters. So the roofing system is beginning to fail. Come throughout here, if you take a look at, they actually have 3-tab shingles on the garage over there. Those are no longer allowed to be installed in Longmont, Boulder. I think some parts of Denver you are if you're grandfathered in, but other than that, you are not allowed to replace those with 3-tab anymore. They're just not sufficient enough to protect the home. We also have kind of a makeshift little patch here. I'm assuming that there's some water getting in here. You can see where the cracks are, and you can see that wasn't fully adhered. Another issue we have here is where the antenna comes down into the roof, not properly sealed. So water is definitely, you can see from the rust where the water's been. You see where the water is getting in throughout there. And then you know, full gutter, completely full, should be cleaned out to prevent water or even mold growth from the actual leaves themselves. As we walk up here, the one thing that I did also want to note is there's a little bit of sponginess to the actual roof itself. The one area right over here definitely feels like some of the decking has allowed water in. Be a little careful because once I step on it, oh, right in here, it's gonna be a little spongy. You can see my foot has some give to it, meaning that decking's going bad. Under the left side here, pretty much at the edge, and you can see these shingles are starting to pop up and bend over each other, meaning that decking under there is starting to bow. So it's gotten moisture in it, and from the drying and cooling process, it keeps flexing, pushing those shingles up, which is actually going to make more of the seals break. My recommendation for this roof would be a replacement at this point. At first, looking at it, I thought there could be another year or two in this roof, but due to the penetration points in the system failing and the multiple damages that we see throughout, as well as the decking beneath, I think the best move here, especially with all the seals broken moving up the valley, the best move is definitely going to be to replace this rather than repair. If you repair, you could certainly miss the leak and just cause more issues. When it comes to everything else up here, ventilation, pipe jacks, it's all in good shape. But I would definitely recommend a shingle replacement. There's loads of penetration points for water just to be seeping directly in. I mean, you see right here, the fiberglass is showing through, and that right there is going to allow water in directly into your attic. Causes a bunch of issues with ventilation, moisture, getting into the decking will just completely ruin it, which is quite expensive to have to repair all that compared to kind of getting a hold of it now. But this is Lee with Real Roofing. Oh, forgot this part. You can see the wind tore off this part of the shingle here, fiberglass showing through, and we got a real soft shingle in here, meaning there's water directly under there. But once again, recommendation would be replacement here. Just keep the home safe. But this is Lee with Real Roofing, signing out.